Morning, guys. Mark Farashi with ProTech Dog Training. I mentioned to you guys a down in the walk or down in movement. I'm going to start teaching Rocky that this morning. I'm going to show it to you. It's a little cluttered right here because I am kind of trying to set up for this in motion. Rocky is back here in this little holding pen. I don't know if you can see that on the camera at all either. But I pick up, like I was telling you before, I do a lot of studying. I'm constantly going out to other people and going to seminars and doing all kinds of stuff to grow my knowledge base and to get more tricks in the tool bag. More things I can use in my tool bag all the time. Never stops. It's something I'm always reaching for. But one of the things that one of the trainers out there that's online doing his thing has a whole thing of where he puts the dog in a holding pen like 20-30 minutes before he starts his routine. And what he's doing is he's building up anticipatory drive to get the dog want to be higher, because the dog's high on going out and working on the field, and he knows what's coming because of a pattern. The gentleman's putting the dog into a cage. He goes off and does his own stuff. He's piddling around. The dog knows it builds, it builds, it builds. He knows he's going to be let out of that cage to go work. So I've got kind of the same thing that I've set up here with this little holding pen, and Rocky was in the back. I just brought him out. I've got my stuff on the field, and I do a lot of little things because I'm going to work more than one dog. I might bring the puppies out, and they've got a little holding pen on the other side that I put them in, and then I start working my dogs. So keep that in mind. That might be one little trick that you want to play, that you have a holding pin somewhere that you can put the dog into, some kind of a contextual, as Mike talks about context, thing that can be built into your patterns where the dog starts to build anticipatory drive. Okay, he's anticipating, his want builds up, and then you bring the dog out. So I'll do that game. Today will be the first time that I am starting this board, and all I've got is a piece of fencing. Okay, I'm going to put that on the ground, and I'm going to lay it down, and that's going to be my delineating location, my point for the dog to stop and drop in front of this piece of wood. And all that is just a different surface the dog can feel. So now I can start pushing him back with some spatial pressure, a little bit of corrections, a little bit of tweaking and working the dog through the concept. Again, what I always talk about is conveying the idea to the dog of what you're after. Okay, so we're just putting little tools in. It's my ability with time to be able to communicate what I want to the dog. Okay, so in this case, I want the dog to stop and drop on this line. Okay, so I'm going to be moving past it, and I'm going to say couché. I'm going to drop him, and then I'm going to accent to him that I want him to drop before this. I'll mix up, I'll bring drive up, and I'll come back to it, and I'll do that 1, 2, 3. That pyramid that I showed you guys, the power of 2s and 3s, I'll try to mix that into my work so that I end up making this my primary new thing that he has, and I'll be doing other things that he's more aware of and more cognizant of that's in his patterns that will build drive, and then I'll drop back to this again. So that we're going to try that. We'll find out what happens. It's probably going to be into toy and into release. Remember to be cognizant or aware of drive state. Okay, where's the dog's mental mindset? Where's his drive state in the work? If we have toys being such a drive state for the dog's genetic stamp, who he is as an individual, and it sends him out to lunch, I can't use toys as much. I've got to back off on that and start coming back with food, and then maybe we might want to get to static work. We were talking about isolating behaviors, things like that. All these things will create different drive state in the animal. In the end result, we want a dog that's very happy, wants to work, into the work, and then has crescendo type of a thing where he knows he's going to be, think of it like drawing back a rubber band, and you pop that rubber band. When you release it, there's all kinds of momentum, all kinds of kinetic energy behind that as you release it, and it finally dies out as it finally reaches the place that's going to fall. You see what I'm saying? But when you first release that, and you've got all that pressure behind that rubber band, and you release it, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about explosion release and teaching the dog to go into drive, and you put what we call bridge behaviors, and we'll talk about this later on, into the work, and we crescendo it into our release. So let me go ahead and see if I can get Rocky out here, get him flowing. I'm going to take this table out of here. And it may be a little bit jumbled. I don't have anybody to do my filming today, so again, it's going to be me dropping in and out of camera. So don't mind the jumble, and we will try to pull this all together for you. Okay? So I'm just going to stick this out here. I think you guys can still see that, and we still have a flow. I might have to get rid of this table so I can flow back in, but I want this table here to start so that he goes on to one of those high energy outflow patterns. that he already knows that he can get high on, and then bring him back into this new thing that we're talking about. We talked about the powers of 2s and 3s, and that's kind of what we're after. So let me get the dog. Go away, rock, rock. That's a boy. You guys will be able to hear me off camera, even if I'm not on the view, because I'm mic'd up today. So let me get Rocky here. And the first thing I'm going to do is show him food, so his mental mindset goes into the food state of mind. He's a little bit pent up because he's been not worked the last few days. That's a good thing too when you take pauses in your work. Good boy, good. So we're going to take the food. Oh, yeah, good. And notice my voice tone. There's a lot of key patterns that get the dog working. Good. Good. Yes, good boy, good. And one of those bridge behaviors is called touch, and I'll show it to you later. Touch, yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. And I'm building that right now with him, so I'll get him into a really high thing of this little game of touch. And we'll use that as a bridge behavior to get him into other things. Let's see if I can get him to jump up. Touch, yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. All right, Rocky, up, yeah. Good boy. Hop, goosh. Yep, and I'm going to start with the table because he already knows to drop on that table. Goosh. Good. Up, yeah, and I just pull the muscle in my calf. Damn it. If I start limping, you'll know why. Hop, goosh. Damn it, I hate when that happens. Aussie. Up, yeah. Good. Okay, so now I've got him dropping on the table, which is pretty easy for him because he's already got that built in. Yep, come on. I'm going to get rid of this. And then we're going to try to demo this on this board, okay? So let me go ahead and bring this piece of wood back to where the table's at. And all I'm trying to do is teach him a new behavior, right? Which is to drop on the walk. All right. Yep. Good boy. Good. I'm not going to worry about any of this because I'm not after that. I'm going to pull him off of this. I'm going to pull this table. All right. All right. Up, yeah. Good boy. Good. You ready? Ready? Good boy. Up, yeah. Good. Couche. Good. Nope. Good. Nope. Couche. Back. Good. Now I'm trying to get him to understand, couche, good, that this board means something. Couche, good, pas bouger. Yep, good boy, good. And I'll use my explosion releases and things he already knows because he's already associated that towards the table, right? Oh, yeah, couche, no, back, good, nope, that, good, yes, good. Couche, good. Hussy, couche. Good. Trying to accent this board. It means something, right? Good. So I've kind of tapped it with my toes, pushed him back. Remember, he already knows back. See it? Couche. Good. How he backs up. So he has a respect for backing up and for borders because we've used the table. A lot of little pieces of that puzzle have already been put into the dog's learning process before I go to this. Oh, yeah. Good boy, that's my boy, good. Couche, good, that's our boy, good. And all I'm trying to do now is get him to respect this board and that it means something, okay? He doesn't have a concept that it means anything. And I will accent that it means something out of what I expect of the animal, right? You convey a lot through your attitude, and what you expect of the animal can be conveyed depending on your relationship and the pieces of the puzzle you already have built in. Aussie, couche, good. Au pied, couche, good. Au pied, couche, no. Good, couche, good. Nope. Couche. Pas bouger. Now I just brought this toy out, and I don't know if you noticed it, you sense it, I sense it, it changed the dog's mental mind state. And I don't really want it that high right now, so I'm going to take it back to food as much as possible because I'm teaching him something new. Hussy. Yes, good. So today is going to be nothing more than basically just teaching him that this means something. And then I'll get more and more direct with what I expect out of that something as we go along. OPA. Good. And then we'll start really getting speed on this down on the walk, right? Couche. No. And I'm kind of just tapping the toes. Good. Accenting the fact that this means something, right? Asi. Couche. Good. Good boy. What is this, huh? Good boy. OPA. Keep in mind, the dog doesn't know what we want until we show him. Couche. No. Good. Now he broached it and went way over. And again, I'm accenting what I want, which is to stop before this. Couche. Good. OPA. Good boy. Good. Couche. Good. Asi. Couche. Good. Nope. Couche. No. Good. Asi. Couche. No. Good. OPA. Good. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to try to spin this way and use spatial pressure instead of staying at the side. So let's see how that works. OPA. Good. Now watch how I spin towards him. Couche. You see what I'm saying? So I've already done a lot of this already. So I'll spin towards him and push back on this board. As I go along, I'll start increasing my criteria, what I want. In the end, of course, what I want is for him to drop like a dime before this pole. And then I'll start doing things like maybe putting him back 10, 15 feet, calling him and saying out, down, and trying to be close enough that I can get some spatial pressure. I'll get creative and trying to figure out how can I convey to the dog what I want him to do. But the main thing is that we're using a board. We could use a hose, we could use all kinds of things, or our box that we already had, and I could do it with a box and go right into it. This is kind of the next step up past my box. So in a training session, I could have started with my box, accented what I wanted with that, and then he's already familiar with it, and then bring in my board, okay? Then mix up, so we have other things that he already knows. Asi. Couche. And again, it's not going to flow as much as well when I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm trying to convey an idea to you folks and not being in tune with the animal as much. But this is how I build it, the basics. Asi. Couche. No. Couche. Good. Good. That that I do is basically just like a chastised no. And it's something I use all the time in my training, so I don't take it out. Some trainers might look at it and say it's wrong, but it's a negative marker. It's a no marker. It's the same thing. But it's got a chastised tone to it. Good boy. I mean, your voice tone really means something. Asi. Couche. It's communication. If you learn how to play that instrument, your voice tone, you're going to be doing a lot better off. But that takes skill, and that's why most trainers tell you not to use your voice, don't want you to use your voice, because people get in their way with the voice. I've just been doing it so many years that I know how to use it. Couche. Good. Asi. Couche. Good. OPA. OPA. Good. So I'm going to keep that respect on that stick, right? Couche. Good. That's our boy. Food goes to him instead of letting him come past this board. We're going to keep the rules. Good. Nope. Couche. Good. Rocky. Yes. Nope. Now I let him break forward, right? We don't want to let him break forward. That's the whole idea. He's got to learn to respect that stick, and then this would be another pattern set that I'm going to put in. And it's accented, the pattern set's accented by me bringing this board out, which is back to Mike's contextual, right? Because that becomes something that will mean something to him after a while. Out. When I go to this pattern set, when I go to this routine, a board gets put on the ground and we do this sort of a pattern that he starts to understand, which would be drop before that board. And don't broach it forward. Opiate. Good. Couche. Opiate. Good. Let's try it again. And this time I've got the ball in my right hand. See it? So I'm going to move it to here. Couche. Good. Opiate. Couche. Good. Opiate. Good. And look at the dog's mental mind state, his state of mind. Where's the dog's head at it? He's basically out to lunch. He's so hyped up on the ball that his learning state of mind is dropped to almost nothing. So that's why I'm trying to accent to you folks to be very cognizant and aware of drive state. You have the control over that drive state by building in these tools. Food, toy, crescendo releases, all kinds of things that you do in your pattern sets. OPA. that you create this mental mind state. Where's the dog's head at in the work? Being aware of it, cognizant and aware of it is really important as you build your dogs. Opiate, couche, good. And I'm going to end it right there, just at a point where we're just trying to convey an idea to the dog, and then I can pick up on this the next time, keep doing little tidbits until I have this pattern set in, and then my criteria starts to change, and I expect more and more of the dog as we go along. Good boy. Aussie. Here. Nope. Nope. Good. Good. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Good. Couche. Good. Up, yeah. Now I'm giving him body language, so I'm going to use it. Couche. Good. See it? My arm is right here. I'm accessing this already. Now I have to phase that body language out as we go along. But it's there to help him right now. Couche. Good. Up, yeah. Good. Couche. Nope. Good. That's my boy. Good. Nope. Couche. Make sure you have rules that are consistent. The rule is I don't want him touching this board. Good. Assi. Opie. Good. And now would be when I'd want to break and do some other stuff, because I've conveyed the idea as far as I really want to convey it today, and then I'll break into some toys, some other stuff, go to other stuff, and then I can come back to this if I wanted to. Again, 2s and 3s, right? The powers of 2s and 3s. And how I mix it up when I end on a crescendo and when I end my session, how I end my session is really important, okay? We go into that a little bit more as we go along. I'm just trying to give you guys the idea today of how to convey a thought to the dog with something we want. And in this case is to drop at a delineating area, spot. I could use sidewalk into grass where there's 2 different types of surfaces. I could use a board like this. I can use all kinds of things that gets me creative in trying to teach the dog to drop. The edge of a table, like I said, is where it really starts. And then you go from there to the ground, all right? Couche. That's about it for now, folks. I don't want to chat too long. I'll sit here and yak all day long. I'll talk to you later.